hesitate. Into cycling, Melbourne crit scene, welcome to the team. Cycling complex, living out the dream. Pushing through hills, sharp turns extreme. Fast wheels flow.
Hey there, welcome back to Into Cycling. We're out at Yarra Glen here. This is the third stage of Eastern Cycling Club's Toughen Up Series. And we've been pretty lucky with this series because even though it's run in the middle of winter, hence the name, we've actually had pretty good weather. As you can see here, it's quite sunny, blue skies, a little bit on the chilly side, but definitely still very nice riding conditions. So I wasn't off to a good start on this race. I left my Garmin at home, hence why there is no power data on this video. I did manage to capture the ride on my Garmin watch, but it actually required an additional application to be able to record power, and I didn't really want to mess around trying to do that rather than doing my warm-up, so I just let that go. Apart from that, or actually in addition to that, if you remember my last video, I was saying, oh, hopefully I don't get sick. I did get sick between this round and the previous, which kept me off the bike for about a week and a half. But lucky that was a couple of weeks before this race, so I did recover pretty well. The only thing was that I hadn't done as much high intensity as I would have liked, and once the pace got up on this race, I definitely felt it. I was struggling. Yeah, it was not overly tough race, but just that there was a little steep climb, and a couple of times people did try and break away on that climb, and yeah, I really had to dig deep to stay on. You'll probably see my heart rate will go through the roof when we hit that climb. Yeah, so look, overall it was a good race, excellent conditions. Couple of weird little mishaps which we'll cover shortly as we progress through the race. So what we might do is just pick it up a bit to when we get to the first climb, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Okay, so we've just made the right-hand turn here into the start of the climb. Definitely not a brutal climb, but it's enough to hurt you if you haven't been doing a lot of climbing and you've been sick. So I struggled this lap after lap. It was 12 laps of this climb, and yeah, there was a point there where I thought, am I going to make it to the end? So yeah, definitely tough for me. Definitely a good turnout. It's good to see quite a few riders, a few that I hadn't seen before, a few that I hadn't seen for a while. It's good to see Con there, number 51, back since having a pretty bad crash earlier on. We've got this guy here, number 46. He's on a gravel bike on a Checkpoint SL6, looks like. I did have one of those bikes. I was speaking to him earlier, and this is his first or second road race, so he's obviously at this point not sure whether he's going to commit to road racing, so he's just put some road tyres on his gravel bike there, which seemed to work okay except for the gearing. I did notice he was struggling with the gearing, especially on the downhill sections. I don't think he finished with the group. And there we go. There we see Chris Leckie trying to take a shortcut through the grass. No, not quite. I think he may have touched wheels with someone. I'm not going to say who I think it was, but anyway, that was a bit of bad luck for Chris. And I remember at this point thinking, should I go back and see if I can work with him to get him back? But given how I was feeling, I thought if I go back there, there's a fair chance I'm not going to be able to get back on. So I decided to let Chris get back on his own. I know he's a pretty strong rider, and this is still early in the race, and it does slow down a bit here, and there's a right turn further up. So I thought if anyone's going to get back on, it's going to be him. So anyway, we'll have to watch later in the video to see whether he does get back on. All right, we'll pick it up further down the line and see how things pan out. So we're on the third lap here, and you can see I've gone to look down at my Garmin, forgotten it wasn't there, looking at my watch thinking, oh man, how much longer have we got? Like I said, that climb was killing me, and I couldn't wait for this race to be over, I must say. One positive was that I could see, actually just here, Cons, I think he was asking me about Chris, what happened to him. But anyway, one positive that I had in mind for this race was if I can just make it to the end. Again, it's an uphill sprint, which suits me. So I thought if I can get to the end, I should at least be able to get on the podium and grab some points. So that was my objective from here on. Just hoping I could make it, that I could make it to that sprint finish. Um, so you can see here, we're just nothing much has really happened for a little bit. It is still early in the race. My heart rate's at 172, which is, I'm feeling it's a bit high. I know we don't have any power data on there, but I don't think we did anything that intense. So yeah, I was struggling a bit. Definitely wasn't in the best form I've been in for the other two rounds. I could definitely feel it. Every lap going up that hill was just sort of taking its toll on me. Anyway, let's skip ahead a little bit further, and let's see if Chris makes it back to the pack. Okay, so we're about halfway in the race now on the sixth lap. That was Lachlan Silby that went up the outside there, trying to cause a bit of an acceleration, maybe trying to split the field on this climb. So as you can see there, we're all chasing. Pace has picked up a little bit. On the right, just ahead of these two guys, you can see Jules Haddo there. She rode a really good race. She was strong, just countering all the moves, making some of her own. Really strong ride by her. There's Con just there ahead of this guy. Yeah, it's good to see a little bit of action. There was a little bit of a lull since the third lap until now, so I think we're getting to that halfway point. People are probably thinking, let's try and break up the field, see what we can do, and I think that was basically the result there. Unfortunately, nothing really major happened in that other than hurt me a little bit. You can see my heart rate there is up to 175. Which is sort of roughly my threshold heart rate, and I wouldn't normally hit that heart rate just from a little acceleration like that. So, yeah, definitely wasn't in peak condition for this. I just wanted to say, so also, I just want to thank everyone that came up to me during the race. There were a few people, people I've seen before at other races, and people I hadn't seen for ever in any of these events. That said they watched the channel. One guy, which was actually Lachlan that you saw earlier, he came up to me, he saw the camera on my bike, and he said, "Oh, are you the Into Cycling guy?" And I said, "Yeah." So I was really rapt to get a little bit of recognition and people saying that they have watched the videos and enjoy them. So that's great. I've only started the channel not long ago. So it's really good to get a little bit of feedback. So if you are watching this, again, a reminder, if you enjoyed the video, please like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, it'd be much appreciated, guys. As you saw, just back while I was rambling on, Chris Leckie was in the group, so he did make it back. That was good to see. And I'm pretty sure he does hit it up the climb a few times, so not just content to make it back to the pack, but he thought he would try and break things up a little bit there. There in the pink, that's Danny. Now I'm not sure of his surname now. I've chatted to him on social media before. On social media, he goes by Danny Cannon, but on the start list, I see his name is Danny Cannon. Danny Gannon. So I'm not sure which is correct. So Danny, if you're watching, let me know. Danny was the guy that filmed the finish on his phone when I won out at, the name escapes me now, which course it was. Was it Holloway? I can't remember. Anyway, he was filming a friend of his that was racing that day, and he managed to catch my finish when I broke away on the last lap. So yeah, anyway, let's skip ahead a little bit further. You can see there, old mate on the gravel bike is still hanging in there. Kudos, mate. That's amazing with that gearing. You've done really well. like I say, I wasn't sure if he did make it to the end, but I don't think he did. But fair effort on that bike. Also, I know that bike weighs quite a bit. He probably, with the road tyres on there, he's probably coming in at about over 9 kilos easy. There you see, Chris's. I think that was Chris there that just taken off. As I said, actually, was it or was it someone else? Hang on. So we've got Danny. It's one of the other guys I think here that's trying to cause a break, and I've gone across thinking, I wonder. Yeah, no, so it wasn't Chris. He does attack further on the climb though. So this is Danny, and I'm not sure who number 31 is. So we have a crack up here, but I think as soon as we turn right into the climb again, I look back and I see the pack's not that far away, and I just say to the guys, no point. And again, look at my heart rate, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's a shame again that we don't have power, but I'm pretty sure my heart rate wouldn't normally be that high for such a short effort. So on the front here for a little bit, trying to make this work, thinking if we can break it up, get a little bit of a gap, and then try and go hard up the climb, then maybe only a handful of riders will bridge across and we could create a breakaway. But yeah, I think a combination of me not being in the best shape, and also it was a tough race, because even if you do get away on that climb, you really have to try and make it stick then on the descent, because people, yeah, it's easy to get back on. Well, not easy, but yeah, it's hard to sort of keep that gap all the way. So you can see Danny there's having a good dig, but I just wasn't interested at this point. A combination of the fact that I just wasn't feeling it, and I think as we came around that corner, I looked to my right and saw they weren't far behind. So yeah, there was no chance of getting away. All right, so we are onto the 7th lap, so just over the halfway mark. So we'll move ahead, get further into the race. Actually, before we do, there you go. That's Chris there having a crack, and Lachlan following him. So I knew I needed to find something to get back here, because if these guys got away, this would be dangerous. Lachlan, even though I hadn't seen him before, he looked like a pretty strong rider. He was quite young. In fact, I didn't even think he was master's age, but he's probably just turned 30, I reckon, and he's decided to come out here and show the old blokes how to ride. So yeah, I thought this one we've got to go with. You can see there Chris is really putting in an effort to try and break things up, and I'm on the limit there, like not happy. Maybe he's secretly upset that I didn't go back and help him. Nah. Yeah, so again, we did try here, but it just didn't stick. Once we sort of turned right into the downhill, people got back on. Yeah, at this point I'm just letting riders get by me, just hoping that there's enough riders that I don't get dropped. At this point I wasn't sure if there was a break, but I knew that I didn't want to lose too many riders, because if this was going to turn into a break, I didn't want to miss it, and I also then didn't want to roll up the back of the main pack and end up on my own, because there's no way to get back on. So it's a little bit went into a bit of a panic here. This is where I really thought, shit, if I don't hang on, then regardless of that uphill sprint, I'm not going to be there to contest it. So really had to find something. And you can see they're sort of still keen on trying to get it going. Trying to hurt the pack again. Definitely hurting me. So I was pretty rapt to see the right-hander, which is shortly coming up, because then it's downhill for a bit there. I mean, it is a slight downhill even here, but yeah, it's a longer downhill as we turn right. All right, let's maybe skip ahead again and head maybe towards the finish of the race. All right, we'll pick it up shortly. Okay, so we're into the last lap. So I just thought I'd quickly take the opportunity to show the standings for the whole series. You can see there I'm sitting at 9th position. I would have been higher up if I hadn't stuffed up that first round at Broadford, where I thought I'd try and get away, and that just failed miserably, and I ended up not even getting on the podium that day. So they're paying down to 10th place, so I'm hoping to stay in that top 10. Hopefully I can move up a little bit. Hopefully I don't get pushed down. But we'll see how we go. So anyway, let's see where we're at now. So we are almost towards the end. So we're coming up to the last right-hand turn, which then takes us up to the finish line. So at this point I'm thinking I just don't want to get boxed in. That was my priority. I wasn't fussed too much about whose wheel I was following, but I wanted to stay to the outside. At this point I'm pretty far back, but I know that we're going to take that right-hander soon, so we'll all bunch up, and then I'll try and move up, as I'm just doing slowly now. I've got Con there in front of me. I know he's a pretty strong finisher, so at this point not a bad idea to sort of sit there behind him. And again, just really trying to cover that outside. Just did not want to end up getting boxed in. So all the favourites are up here. Chris is up there, Con, myself. Pace starts to pick up. Still thinking I'm in a pretty good position. I've got Chris in front of me, another strong finisher. I was feeling pretty comfortable at this point. Just waiting for that finish. Okay, AJ goes out on the outside. I think, okay, this is bad, so I've got to follow the guy there in the green, because this could be bad. I could easily have got boxed in there. So I'm just sitting there to the outside. You can see Jules is like pretty much leading out the whole pack. As soon as this guy goes, I'm thinking this is it. Alright, I know it's a long uphill stretch. Putting everything in here. Gaining on Lachlan. He has managed to get quite a nice gap on me. Not quite able to get past him, so I end up with 2nd place. Really happy with that. Can't complain. Well done to Lachlan, and well done for Chris for getting 3rd after crashing earlier on. So that's fantastic. And there we have our podium. Lachlan there, 1st place, me in 2nd, and Chris in 3rd. Also want to mention Con, who came 4th, which is an amazing effort. Like I say, he had been injured for a while, and I think this might be his 2nd race back. Not 100% sure, but yeah, well done, Con, as well. So thanks for watching, guys. If you've made it to the end, again, please like, share the video, subscribe, and one more round to go out at Gruyere next week, which at the time of recording or editing this video is tomorrow. So pretty nervous for that last round, hoping to be able to get up on the podium one last time. Anyway, thanks again, guys. We'll catch you soon.